Hello, everyone. Welcome to Off the Charts, episode 63. Today I'll be doing part two of my series. So, what is the best year in music in a specific decade? So, episode one was about the 70s, and the winner was 1976. So, I've done some more research, and the winner of the decade of the 80s would be, drum roll, 1984. So cheers to 84. That a clink was for you there, Mike. He said he wrote that he would taken a shot, a bong shot or something, every time he'd heard a clink. So I told him I'd get him pretty high on this episode here. Anyway, all joking aside here, I thought I had a lot of albums for 1976, but holy shit, do I have probably twice as much. So I'll try to go this by faster, showing you all the albums I have. And I've actually cut a few down. There's some I'm like, all right, I'm not like Band-Aid, I'm not gonna show that. Or do they know it's Christmas? Like stuff like that. USA for Africa. No. So anyway, we'll go through the list. So the winners, and you'll see why 1984 was such a big year. You'll be like, oh my god, there's a lot of albums that did, and a lot of good albums that came out. Some, probably, I would say 90% of them, you probably all know them, but a few little, what the fuck is that, you know? Anyway, we'll start off with what I have on CD here. Helix. Everybody remembers Rock You. Like, we all got not sick and tired. Well, at that, I love the song now, that we did get kind of sick and tired of hearing that one there. So, Walking the Razor's Edge. This album was huge for them here in Canada. I'm not sure where everywhere else there. Anyway, Helix, Walking the Razor's Edge. Another one of my favorites from this band here, definitely my top five. Defenders of the Faith by Judas Priest. I mean, fuck, Love Bites, Free Will Burning, The Sentinel. But Love Bites for me is one of my top Priest songs here. So, Defenders of the Faith. Here's one you may not know. I discovered this while collecting vinyl here. Sado, S-A-D-O. Actually fairly decent band there. I do like it a lot here. The album here is called Shout. Their album covers are a little on the BDSM side there, so check it out on your Google search there if you dare. So Sado, Shout, S-A-D-O. Everybody knows this one here. One of the first Kiss. I moved here in Ottawa, by the way, in 1984. The summer of 1984. So when I came into grade 7, which is pre-high school, intermediate school there, I learned so much music, and this was huge at the time. Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry, We're Not Gonna Take It, I Wanna Rock, The Price, Burn in Hell. This album there's no duds on this one at all. Like or hate Twisted Sister, this was in your face pretty much every day during 1984. So, Stay Hungry, Twisted Sister. I didn't know her as well as I do now there, but I remember this when it came out. Lee Aaron, Metal Queen. It's not until she came out with Body Rock, with, the What You Do to My Body, I thought, not that she scared me, but she looked like someone with, really tough. And then Body Rock came out, and I'm like, fuck, she's super nice. So, anyway, Metal Queen. We all know the song Metal Queen by Lee Aaron. So, there's another good one from 1984. This one here, you guys pretty much know this band from a certain song, The Final Countdown. But they did have an album before that, Wings of Tomorrow. This is actually very good. Not that The Final Countdown is bad there, but anyway, Europe. Wings of Tomorrow, another 1984. Just to celebrate the 1980s here, I put my little Lego, space Lego. Who had that as a kid? Those space Lego But anyway, enough of my yakking there. Let's have another cheers there, Mike. There you go. One of my favorite artists of all time, Dio, The Last in Line. I fucking love this album here. This is a great one. Lovely cover here, too. The Last in Line, for Mystery. This album is great here. So Dio, The Last in Line. Another 1984 gem right there. I did not discover these guys at the time. I discovered them a long way after, thanks to my friend Steph. I'm talking about Black and Blue. Who is Black and Blue? Well, Tommy Thayer right there is now currently the guitarist for Kiss, playing the Spaceman. But yeah, this had their hit, Hold On to 18. Great. This is actually a very good band here, by the way. You should check these guys out here. So Black and Blue, if you haven't never heard of them there. It's like the mini Dee Snider there. They had their own mini Dee Snider here with James St. James. But great album here. So their first one, Black and Blue, self-titled. Who doesn't remember that one-hit wonder Autograph with Turn Up the Radio? This album is actually very good too there. Send Her to Me, Turn Up the Radio, My Girlfriend's Boyfriend Isn't Me, Thrill of Love. Great album here. So Autograph, Sign and Please, and of course that one song, Turn Up the Radio. Man, great song right there. Autograph, Sign and Please. This is considered one of the best comebacks or reunion comebacks in rock history here. Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers here. There's a song, Perfect Strangers, and of course, Knocking at Your Back Door. Great album too there. But this was actually one of those comeback albums that's actually worth the price of admission, like worth the hype. So Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers, one of their better ones, in my opinion. Actually, not just my opinion, a lot of people. This solo artist, it was sort of his last album before he went on to join Van Halen. This is, of course, Sammy Hagar with the one hit on this here, I Can't Drive 55. But there's also like Two Sides of Love. VOA is actually a pretty silly, funny video. You gotta listen. You gotta watch that video, VOA. It's actually pretty funny. But anyway, VOA, Sammy Hagar. Just before he made it big with this here, but he went a lot to bigger things when he joined Van Halen right after this here. So Sammy Hagar, VOA, Voice of America, if you're wondering. Discovered these guys a little later on in the game. Dokken, Tooth and Nail. This is probably my favorite Dokken album here. I think arguably a lot of people's favorite Dokken album here. This is a great album. So Tooth and Nail, Dokken. I'm looking at my pile here. I'm like, holy shit. Who in Canada does not know Bryan Adams? Reckless. I mean, come on. Run to You. Heaven. Somebody. Summer of 69. This was like hit after hit on this album here. He's never duplicated this type of success as a whole album there. But this album was just covered in gold right there. So Bryan Adams, Reckless. I would have loved this band a lot more had they stayed like this here. I'm talking about Great White. This is their self-titled. I think this is this an EP? No, it's actually a full album here. Anyway, this I really don't like what they become. Just like a blues, very safe blues. This is really kick-ass album right here. Great White. I think it's just called Great White, actually. Yeah. So there you go. Another Canadian band. Kick Axe. This album kicks axe. Kicks ass. My God, that pun was so bad. But yeah, this... I have their 3 albums on vinyl. I think there's a 4th one here on CD there. Maybe I'll get it one day there. But Kick Axe, Vices, great album. On the Road to Rock, Heavy Metal Shuffles, Vices, Just Passing Through. This whole album is great here. So Kick Axe, Vices. kind of used to make fun of these guys. They're okay, I guess. They're not great. Talking about Keel, Lay Down the Law. Beauty of an album cover, this is before they got signed to their big contract. I forget with who there, but Keel, Lay Down the Law. Not bad. It's a good band there. I just don't, not crazy about Keel's vocals. Sorry. Anyway, here we go. Keel, Lay Down the Law. I've done an episode on these guys here. Did a ranking episode here. I'm talking about Fastway, All Fired Up. Great band, actually. Like this, after Fast Eddie Clark left Motorhead, he went and formed Fastway. Great band. I like these guys a lot here, actually. Not all their discography is as good as their first 3 albums there, but anyway, there's some good stuff in there. Trust me. So Fastway, All Fired Up. This is their second one. Okay, this one here. A lot of people are like half and half on this one. I love the album there. Rush, Grace Under Pressure. It's got, of course, Distant Early Warning, and of course the Body Electric. I did a Rush episode here. I'm not going to go too much into details on that one there, but Body Electric is probably my second favorite Rush song. I love that song a lot. So Rush, there you go. There you can see the title. Grace Under Pressure. Great album here. Not my favorite album from my favorite band, but Kiss Animalize. I talked about why I'm not crazy about this album. I think this was episode 1 of my channel here. Of course, I did Kiss because go with what you know, right? I'll tell you why it's not one of my favorites here. I just find it's very well camouflaged with that one-hit single there. The rest is just, eh. Anyway, Kiss Animalize. I did forget to say this on my Kiss channel, but how I met one of my good friends, one of my best friends too there, Yan. He was sitting behind me in grade 7, and I turned around, and I saw he had Kiss Animalize the tape, like a copy. And I'm like, oh my god, they have a new album out. And that was kind of the start of a friendship since 1984, and now we're in 2022 and we're still friends here. This was the album that I piqued my curiosity with that fella. So I'm like, great, another guy that loves Kiss, because where I used to live, not many people like Kiss as much as I did there. So anyway, Kiss Animalize, 1984. I have better memories of this album than the album's music itself. If that makes any sense. It's got a special piece here. So anyway, Kiss Animalize. All right, this to me is not one of their better albums here, but Saxon Crusader. I mean, everybody loves a song Crusader. Took me a long while to get into these guys here. Not until 1999 did I actually start collecting Saxon. I'm like, holy fuck, these guys are friggin' good. So Saxon, Crusader, everybody who knows Saxon, everybody goes, Crusader! Well, here's the album. The album doesn't really match that one song there, but anyway. It is what it is, right? One of my favorite bands right now there, like Saxon, I'm talking about Sabotage here. Sorry, Mike. Talking too much. I'm trying to do this fast. That's bong hit number 3 now. If I anyway, with their vinyl re-releases right now, they've actually gone up in my and I'm just, there's 3 more, and they're coming out with beautiful new vinyls, and there's only 3 left that they're doing there. So they're re-releasing all their catalog on reissued vinyl. Looks beautiful. So Sabotage the Dungeons, they're calling this is just an EP, but what a fucking good EP this is here. So Sabotage the Dungeons are calling. Love this album here. This was their sort of, well, they were starting to get big all the time there, but Scorpions, Love at First Sting. I mean, Bad Boys Running Wild, Rock You Like a Hurricane, Big City Nights, Still Loving You. That was a huge album for them, and I think this is what the tour for the Worldwide Live album was for. So Scorpions, Love at First Sting. Starting to slowly complete my Scorpions discography, so watch out, there'll be a ranking eventually there. So this is to me when the band started to be good, but for American audiences, Whitesnake slided in. But I'm slowly... I used to hate the anything before this. I used to fucking hate. Now I actually like it as an older guy. But this album here is actually very good, especially Slide It In and Slow and Easy. What a friggin' good song that is. Love that song. So Whitesnake, Slide It In, as step one into what would become their biggest seller, the album right after this here. So Whitesnake, Slide It In, very good album here. All right, if you guys don't know the hit single off of this album, you guys have been living under a rock. It's got a lot of people divided here, but I'm talking about Van Halen 1984, of course. This has got Jump, Hot for Teacher, Panama, I'll Wait. There are other good songs on this album too. They're Top Jimmy and Drop Dead Legs, but yeah, this was huge at the time, especially the song Jump, which I'm not tired of hearing. I actually like that song a lot. Great keyboard riff there. So Van Halen 1984. Even though this looks like a painting, this is actually a photo of a real kid. Not sure about the cigarettes, if they were part of that picture there, but anyway. Took me a while to get into these guys too, because I just didn't know about them there. Y&T, which means yesterday and today. Lipstick and Leather is a great anthem song there. We used to watch Power Hour, and remember my friends and I goes, did you see that song Lipstick and Leather? It's friggin' good. Yeah, Y&T's good. And then nobody ever bought the albums. I don't know. Like, it wasn't in my circle of friends. Y&T wasn't huge there, but slowly getting their whole collection here. So In Rock We Trust. This was a good one too. Don't Stop Running, yeah. Anyway, this is a great album here too. So Y&T, In Rock We Trust, with Lipstick and Leather. I remember that one as a kid. A little sideway tangent here, but Toto, Isolation, considered by many huge fans one of their better albums here. I'm still slowly getting into Toto here. I've got their first 7 albums there. Again, slowly the cover is not great there, but you can see what it's supposed to be there. But anyway, Toto, Isolation. Here's another good one here. You'll hear more about these guys eventually on my channel. Man, did I ever make fun of these guys at the time. I still do to a point there, but they're actually getting better, but their look was just ridiculous. Striper. This is the Yellow and Black Attack. Yeah, the Yellow and Black Attack. So, yeah, here we go. Christian hair metal, I guess, there Christian hair metal at its best, I guess. Well, take off the cheese and the look and all that, they're actually pretty good band there. Just took me a very, very long while to get into these guys. Actually, they broke up in 90-something, then they came back, and that's when I kind of got into Striper. But I still remember my friend in high school goes, we knew the name Striper, and he goes, oh, they're popular, we just don't know where. We point, on sait pas où. Anyway, it was a French saying there. I'm trying to translate it word for word there, but yeah, this was not popular here in Ottawa. I'm sorry there. At the time there, it wasn't a household name. But anyway, Striper, the Yellow and Black Attack. Not their best one, but this is what got me into Crocus here. The Blitz. They did a cover of Ballroom Blitz. Midnight Maniac is a great song here. Forget the rest here, but yeah, these guys are actually pretty decent here. They have a lot of albums here, so I'm slowly getting the whole discography there. I'm not in any rush to get it all there, but anyway, Crocus the Blitz. I think I have 10 more left. Jesus Christ. It was a huge year. I'm not kidding when I say it was a huge year. This was friggin' huge. Everybody had this album when I was a kid. I didn't have it, of course. Triumph, Thunder 7. I mean, Spellbound, Follow Your Heart. Again, I did a ranking episode on these guys here. This is one of their better albums here. And actually a very, very beautiful album cover here. So Triumph, Thunder 7. A great one here. I still wish I had seen them live. Here's to you, Mike. Used to not like these guys at all. Then in my older age, started collecting them again. Or not collecting them, period. Not again. Queen, their works. I actually listened to this. I'm like, this is actually pretty decent here. This is pretty good here. Radio Gaga. I Want to Break Free. Anyway, this is actually a pretty good album here. I only have 3 Queen albums so far. There will be more. Definitely, no, 4 albums. I think. Anyway, 3 or 4. There'll be more. So Queen, the works. I don't even remember if I said the name here. This one's not one of my favorites there, but Queensryche, The Warning. I used to own this on cassette way back, and I sold it like almost. I'm like not into that. Then I'm like, you know what? It's actually fairly decent here. This is when Queensryche was good. Any Queensryche fans out there will know what I mean by that there. So Queensryche, The Warning. Sorry, Mike. You would not have caught me with this album back in 1984, but you know when you find some used albums cheap, well, and this actually turned out very good. Purple Rain, Prince. I mean, When Doves Cry, Purple Rain is on this. This is so Let's Go Crazy. This is so written badly, and anyway. Good album. Okay movie there. It was good there. Don't get me wrong there. Still, the only scene I remember from this movie is when the guy dares some girl to jump into a lake topless. I'm like, oh yeah. All right, these guys here. It's sad how what they've become, but they were huge at the time. Quiet Riot, Condition Critical. This one had Mama We're All Crazy Now. Sign of the Times, I love that song a lot. We used to play in one of my first bands here, Party All Night, because I loved that song at the time. Anyway, this is a good album here. So Quiet Riot. I actually like it a little bit better than Metal Health, believe it or not. It's probably because I haven't heard it to death like the other one there. So Condition Critical, Quiet Riot. Their one-hit wonder, sort of. Rat, Out of the Cellar. I mean, Round and Round. Who doesn't remember that? This was huge. And it's not even close to being one of my favorite Rat songs. That's what's odd. There's so much more better Rat songs, in my opinion, than Round and Round. But it's still a good song. Don't get me wrong. But Rat, Out of the Cellar. Wanted Man. Round and Round. Lack of Communication. Back for More. I mean, this was full of gems on this here. So Rat, Out of the Cellar. You guys have heard me talk about this guy, my favorite Canadian artist, Kim Mitchell, with his album Akimbo Alogo. Go for Soda, That's a Man, All We Are, Lager and Ale. Like, these are friggin' Canadian classics right there. Kim Mitchell, Akimbo Alogo. But Go for Soda, I'm still not tired of hearing that song ever. So here we go. Getting there, guys. I think I have 5 more. This was huge at the time. Iron Maiden, Power Slave, and I will be making an Iron Maiden ranking eventually there. So this was at their peak of their popularity here for. So Iron Maiden, Power Slave, man, it had Aces High, 2 Minutes to Midnight. I've never there were songs, but in the metal world, long songs were not very popular. But Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner was like 13 minutes. One of the first long, good songs out there. So Iron Maiden, Power Slave. Actually, this is a beautiful, beautiful album cover. Mike. I've talked about this in my Supergroups episode. 1984 came out with HSAS, Hagar, Sean, Shreve, and Aronson. Love this album. Period. Through the Fire. Great one. Check out my Supergroups episode for a more in-detailed. Highway Child. It's a little EP here. For the Wild and the Lonely. I have all their albums, I think. Not bad of a band here. They're I enjoy them pretty much here. So still, like I said, I have only listened to the albums maybe once or twice each there. So still in the discovering and trying to find out some what I like and what I don't like about the band there. But anyway, Highway Child, very good one here too. This one has a little story to it. So I told you guys at the beginning of this episode, I moved here in 1984, and I saw a video. And this guy was running, and he was running with a storm, and he kept saying, "Had a dream," and I'm like, what the fuck is that song? Well, Facebook helped me with this here, because my friend Brian posted a Roger Hodgson song, "Had a Dream," was it called? Had a Dream, Sleeping with the Enemy. And I saw the song and the video, and I'm like, oh my god, that was good. But again, nobody in my circle of friends had this. So he posted the video on Facebook, and I'm like, oh my god, it took me 30 years, if not more, to, there's one of those little puzzles in your life that does not have an answer, and you find out the answer like 30 years later. Anyway, I love the song "Had a Dream, Sleeping with the Enemy." Love that song. The rest of the album is okay there. But thank you, Brian, for actually making me remember what I had forgotten 30 years ago. So Roger Hodgson, "In the Eye of the Storm." Just worth the price of admission. "Had a Dream." Love that song. One of those first, you're discovering new channels because you're in a new town, because it's not the same channels that you had. There's a video channel. I saw that video there, and I was like, oh my god, it was a good song. Last one, guys. I don't know much about this band. I was told this album here, the first album, was actually very good. Now I own 2. I'll probably get the rest of the discography. But Icon, their self-titled first album here. Pretty good one here too. I don't know much about it enough to comment that much on it here, but I'll put it on this episode. So Icon, their self-titled one. Their second one does not sound... They totally went AOR almost on their second one. But anyway, once I have the whole discography, I'll delve more or dive more into this one here. So Icon, self-titled. And that's it. Sorry for the long one, guys, here, but before I... cheers, Mike. What are we at now? 5 or 6 bong hits here? Anyway, so this was my episode talking about the year 1984. So that was my favorite year, music-wise, I guess. As a whole, I think we counted them upstairs before. I was watching the game with my nephew and my dad, and I was like, fuck, I think I have like almost 40 albums just from the year 1984. And there's some that I purposely omitted because this would have made a way too long of an episode here. So I try 30 minutes is not too bad here. That's actually what I was aiming for. So there you go. That's my episode regarding the 80s. What was the best year in music for me, which was 1984. I calculated, again, I'm looking at, I did a quick overview here, and I erased that list. Anyway, 1984, with albums that I own, was, I think 85 or 86 was fairly close. But it was the closest to the 1984, but again, I think by 10 albums at least. So yeah, 1984 seems to have been a very special year for music for myself anyway. Next up, this one I'm actually looking at, and I've dissed and hated the 90s. Anyone who knows me, or I'm sure I've ranted about the 90s in my on my channel here. I fucking hated the 90s music. Killed all those bands that you saw on that list right there, pretty much all fucking died by grunge and all that shit. Some deserved it, don't get me wrong. Some did not. I'm sorry. And I will stick by that. So I'm curious to see how many albums. I'm sure there is nowhere near as much as 40 albums for 1984. Whatever year is the best one in the 90s there. So we shall see that. So anyway, on that note, enough of my yakking here. I'll do one last cheer here. Fuck this. I drank a lot of this here. I wonder why. Oh, you know. All right. On that note, this is getting ridiculous here. I'm going to go to sleep well tonight. So, what the fuck was I saying here? Oh, yeah. Thank you for watching. I'm curious to see what your favorite year in the 80s was. Most importantly, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe if you like this type of content. There will be more. And I've got some good things planned in the coming weeks also. So we'll see when that's going to go on here. So on that note, have yourselves a good day, evening, afternoon, night, supper, breakfast, whatever the fuck you're doing right now. Have yourself a good one, and we shall see you next episode. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Doesn't have the same effect. Have a good one, guys. Bye.